Hey Sue, I think we're live. I'm still setting up a little bit here. Tell you what, I have been busy, 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 busy. We'll give it a couple minutes and get some more people in here. I'm trying to get it up on my Facebook chat up here. There's the notification, so it should be here somewhere. Okay. Where is it? There it is. I found it. Yay! Let me get my volume down. Where is it? There it is. I found it. Yay! You don't want duplicate. Got a couple people watching. Welcome, welcome. Alright, guys. Hi, Louise. We're going to play the intro and then we're just going to go ahead and get started. I see Patty and Penny and Esther watching from Facebook. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We got to make something green tonight. And since St. Patrick's Day is ending today, I figured we would do something green, but show you guys more about the flowers in Designspace and plants and succulents. Yes, we did some poppies the first week this month, but we've got a couple of flowers in this one for the succulent. So there's the calendar, guys. If you need to refresh or you need to check on a date or a time, that is in the featured pin post at the top of the group under the page. Hey, Ann. And let's see. If you have not entered a giveaway, next Thursday is the drawing. We draw it live here on Facebook during our live. Hey, Melissa. So make sure that you are entering this giveaway. You need to post your St. Patrick's Day inspired project with the hashtag Explore360. You need to either use a Cricut product material or an Designspace access image, and then post it in the group either on the giveaway post or make a standalone post of your own, but make sure you use that hashtag and put that in the group, either Cricut Crafting with April or Cricutmakerprojects group, doesn't matter. And then head over to craftingwithapril.co and go to the Cricut giveaway tab and make sure you enter on Rafflecopter. It's that simple. You can do the extras if you want extra entries, but you do not have to do the extra entries. But that first one you have to do. You have to enter on Rafflecopter and you have to post your projects. So make sure that you're doing that, okay? Because we're giving away a Explore 3 and a Bright 360 tabletop lamp. Guys, don't miss out on that. Don't miss out on these big prizes. Okay, so we're going to pop over to the monitor, and I want to say thank you to all my supporters on Ko-fi, Patreon, my YouTube memberships. Greatly appreciate you guys. Don't forget also, guys, we have a mystery box that came out today. So make sure that you are grabbing that up. There is, if it'll let me post it. It's not going to let me post it. Okay. Let's do this then. There we go. There is the video on the mystery box if you need that, but it's also in the pin post in the group. Everything is under there. Make sure you guys are viewing all the important information goes in there. There is maintenance coming up, so if you opened your design space, the scheduled maintenance is coming up. Make sure that you have your projects cut and ready because you won't be able to access during that. Okay, and what else? There's something else that I need to tell you guys. Oh, you may or may not have updated yet. It's rolling out 7.4. We posted that in the group also. I don't think I pinned that. I just let it free float throughout the group. So it may not be in the pin post, but it is on Cricut. They have put it up on the official site. So we are going to go over to projects from Designspace, or if you're over there already from where you opened up Designspace, you can search there too, and just search 3D barrel cactus. And I also want to say thank you to all of my admin. Couldn't do any of this without you guys. You guys are awesome. And I need to transition this over. It didn't take. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. So from Designspace, all you're going to do is click on projects if you're not on the main page, and then type in 3D barrel cactus. And you'll see quite a few options of cactus come up. This is the one that we're looking at tonight. And so you're just going to select that one and click on customize. If you hit make it, it's going to go straight to the matte screen for you to cut. And if not, then it's going to be right here. Okay? And so you're just going to pull it in. Now, I have already pre-set up some of this so you guys didn't have to watch me fold everything, and then I'm just going to show you how to put it together. This is a good size. I'm going to say that once assembled, it's going to be about 3 inches across. Okay? And because I don't want you guys to get confused when you see this finished size. 21.5 by 10 inches. I'm not sure where they're getting that finished size from. But I'm going to report it to Cricut and let them know. But I have to get the size first. So I got to make it to figure out what the actual size is. So I don't know if they measured the diameter, but even if they did, I don't see it being 21.5 inches in diameter. So sometimes there's an error in there, typo, but we'll get it and we'll see. But it's about 3 inches across, I think. What it tells you you need, and you'll notice that this one, and this is why that we're doing another one of these this month on customization. As you can see, remember I told you sometimes on those that they have pictures step by step when we did like the basket one and the poppy, and it showed. This one doesn't have that, okay? So if you don't know how to put them together, it can be a little bit confusing. And I did one, and I don't know where I laid it. I cut an extra one when I did my thing. Because, like I said, people request what they want me to show. So if you have requests and you want me to show an assembly of a Make It Now project in Designspace, please email it to me, use the contact us on the website, message me, doesn't matter. Any way you want to contact me, you can even put it in the group and ask me. So I'll be happy to schedule it up for you. But this one's a little bit confusing because put it together and then they didn't really know how it made the barrel cactus. So, because it says fold the green pieces along your score line and glue the light green pieces between the green pieces. And then put your flowers on top. There's no photos, no nothing. Okay? So, I'm just going to close out of this. And I am putting together the one that comes in at this size. So, if you want to go smaller, you can do that. But please keep in mind, you see these two yellow pieces down here? I'm going to ungroup. Make sure that when you're sizing, everything is grouped and you size everything together and then ungroup, because if you size just these pieces, it's not going to match up. If you size this and then you don't size this the same amount, they're not going to match. Okay? You can see that's going to be, oops, wrong one. It's going to be off. It's not going to work for you. Okay? So make sure that when you're sizing, if it's grouped or both of them are selected, you size them together and then they'll work perfectly. So everything on your mat needs to be selected. That being said, these I cut, and you can see that this one is under an inch and this one is almost at 3/4, just over 3/4 of an inch. You may as well say 3/4. That's very intricate, and you're going to see that here in just a minute. Be prepared. If you size these down, you may not get good clean cuts unless you've got a brand new fresh blade. You're cutting this on intricate cut. You have a nice clean mat, and that paper is stuck to it. If anything, if you go to cut something that small and that intricate, and you don't have a clean mat and it's got any debris, dust, or anything on that mat, it's probably going to rip, okay? It's probably not going to cut well. But you can always pick another image for that, or, you know, maybe use a different image like a star or something to give you that yellow piece in the middle. You could even take this piece and make it yellow and put that in the middle. So when you get down to being that small, just make sure that you're aware that sometimes different cardstocks will not cut as well. Use a good cardstock. And even if it's a good cardstock, it doesn't mean that the fibers in it will cut well, because all paper is different. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you go to size that down, that you size everything together and that you're aware of your smallest piece and how it's going to cut. So that's very important. So let's pop over and put this together. And if you have any questions about DesignSpace, it doesn't have to do with this project. Doesn't matter. Anytime you ever have a question about DesignSpace or need help, ask. Put your questions in caps and ask us, and we will be happy to help you and answer those before we sign out of our live. Okay, and we can pull in your images if it's not an uploaded image and show you using your image so it's not as confusing for you. So let's go overhead, and I'm going to talk about, you remember what the directions said there on just folding that and putting those in between? Don't forget that, because I'm about to show you what can happen if you're confused on how they go together. If I can get, there we go, get to transition for me. There we go. So you could do it this way, but it's not going to go together well. Okay, so we folded that and tucked one in and glued it together, because basically the instructions to me and to the person who asked for this video, it really can be misinterpreted that way. Okay, but this is incorrect. This is not what they meant. Okay, just so you know. Like I said, I cut an extra so I could show you guys, because it's hard to explain. This is not correct. This is not the correct way to put that in between. Okay, so we're going to fold. Let me move that out of the way. You're going to fold all of these green pieces, your dark green pieces, on the score line. And then you have 8 of them, and you have 8 of these. So once you've got them all folded, I hope I don't have too many out here. I think I only cut one extra. So you're just going to fold those in half. And then these pieces I've already done. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to grab your flower mat or foam, whatever you have, and you're going to take these little ones and you're just going to depress down on it and just give it a little bit of a roll. And that's going to give it that cup shape. Okay? Same thing with your flowers. Now, I don't think they did their flowers. They may have just depressed them in the middle, but I like to give mine a little bit of a curl in there. And you can curl this back the other way as well if you want more curl on your petals to give it more back this way. Just depends on what you want. But this is a cactus, so I'm using that. Now you can use this flower and make other flowers and make these biggers and do a totally different flower and skip the cactus altogether. Totally up to you. You thought that was the way it was put together too, so It can be very confusing on some of the flowers. Some of them have been in there a while and the directions are just not quite clear. So it's easy to do. I mean, I've messed them up before and I'm like, what are they telling me to do? That just doesn't seem right. And by the time I went to put it together, I was like, that isn't right. So it's super easy to do for anybody. So once you have those done, then you're going to take it, and I've already started this one, okay? And you're going to take one of your green pieces with the fold, okay? And you're going to hold it shut. Do not put any glue inside it, okay? Then take and put your glue on the outside of the folded piece. And take this piece, and you're just going to line it up right there on the top, the bottom, and the side. Super, super easy. Okay? And then you're going to take another one of the green circles and you're going to glue that. Oops. Wrong side. I put glue on the wrong side. See that? I told you it's easy to do. Let's put it on here instead of on there, and then we won't do that. And then you're just going to place that one there. That way it's sandwiched between two of the circular pieces and not sandwiched between one of the circular pieces. Okay? Super easy instructions, something simple to change. So again, I will tell them about the sizing and about the instruction. Let's see if they can't make that a little bit clearer for you guys. But, and I got that one off a little bit. You want to be sure that I got to pull that apart. You want to be sure that it's even, or it's not going to go together right at the end. You'll have a gap. So I'm just going to pull that apart and put it back on. You want it even on this back. Okay. So now when we open it up, we have a piece like this. Okay. And now we're going to fold that shut. Put our glue on there. Place another one. And I needed to put that on that side. I'm just going to go ahead and put one on this side too before that glue gets too dry for me. You can work both sides. It won't hurt anything. Okay, so I've got the green piece, the little spines on both sides. And now we're going to place our another green circle on there. Get it all even. And then we're going to place this one. Still keeping them all even across the back. You can push them down on your table, whatever, while the glue is still wet. If you want to use hot glue, you can use hot glue. The reason this is sticking right here is I cheated and I got a little tear in my paper and I used it anyway. So that glue is seeping through there. And then you're going to do this last one. I say the last one, but that's because I did mine in 2 halves and you can work in 2 halves. But you're just going to keep rotating all the way around. Okay? So I'm just going to take this other half. Where are we? And it should be right here where my opening is. And I'm going to glue these pieces together, my 2 halves. So you should have a spine, those spines on each one, on each half. And again, you can use hot glue if you prefer, or wet glue. You could use your tape runners. Anything will work on these. Just gonna get those stuck together. And I'm just gonna set that to the side to dry for a second. Oh, you're very welcome, Anne. So I'm just going to take the largest one. I think those two big ones are the same, and then you have one that's smaller. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue right in the center. If you want to do pop dots or foam dots and foam these up, you can, to give it some dimension. And I think I want to, just so you can see the layers a little bit better. So I'm just going to grab a little foam dot, and I'm just going to stick that in there. Take that release liner off. And then I'm staggering the petals. So I'm going to put a petal in between on that one. And that looks a little bit better. You can see it gives it a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to do another dot in the center of that one. And then we're going to place this piece. Didn't get it where I wanted it. I'm trying to stagger all of my petals. There we go. All right, and now I do not, on these tiny center pieces, I don't generally, it just depends on the flower, use a pop dot on those. And you're just going to put the large one in, and then a dab of glue, and then the small one. And stagger it too if you want. Super easy. And then I'm going to use a bigger foam dot. You can hot glue it, but I don't have my glue gun heated up and out here, so just going to use a foam dot right there on the center. And I'm going to pop that flower right on the top. How cute is that? Super simple and easy. Just gotta make heads or tails. Now I have some, this is too big for this, but how cute would this be with some seeds in there, and then you do one of these a little bit smaller, or either get a little bit bigger pot and put those in there as a little gift. That would be cute. I would add a round circle to the bottom, just a circle, and then use that sit down, have that circle sit down on the inside. But lots of things that you can do with these for gifts. Really cute. I like it. You took a little unintended. I don't know what you meant. I'm trying to make sure that I'm caught up. Margaret's there, Veronica, Dan and Donna, Patty. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you want to ask about how these flowers go together? The overall size, what did I say? Let's flatten it out a little bit. So you can even flatten it out. I'm going to say with the spines on there, 3.75. And its height with the flower is 3 1/4, maybe 3.75 by 3 1/4. That 21 inch by 10 inch in there is not. I don't know how they. I don't know how they figured that. Oh, you took an unintended nap. I see it now. That's okay, Debbie. You can watch the replay. It'll be okay. I'm glad that you got to make the end of it. But, guys, anytime you have these flowers and all, and you're just not sure, just message me or ask in the group. We'll help you out. We'll figure it out if we have to cut one ourselves. and look at it. But I think these are just cute. These would be adorable in a little dish. Little succulents dish. So yeah, the size on it is 3.75 in width. That's with the little spines. And I'm going to say approximately. It's going to depend on how much you curl your flower. About 3 1/4. The flower's going to matter on that. Maybe 3 1/2. Does anybody have any design space questions? Anything that you need to ask? Any issues that you're having? Guys, if you're having design space issues, we've been seeing a lot of design space issues come up. Let me just pop over. Nine times out of 10, 99 to 99% of the time is what I'm trying to say here. The issue with design space is either one, your operating system is not up to date, your design space is not up to date, or your cache or your cache needs to be cleared, or you're having an internet issue. It's very rare that design space goes down and there's a real issue. With all software, whenever they do updates, there are going to be bugs, but that's what the maintenance does and the updates do, is they go back and they fix those bugs. Okay, we wouldn't have them at all if they could anticipate every little bug that might be out there. As with any software, it happens with every kind of software. So it's not design space. Most of the time, it is if you're running version 6 point something, it's not design space. The version's too old to update. So you'll have to remove it and then reinstall design space at design.cricut.com. And that will generally fix whatever issue it is. Because sometimes if you've missed a bunch of updates, it can't update because it can't read that old version to update it. Okay, so make sure you're checking that. And when you're asking in the group, we know it can be very frustrating when things don't work as they're intended. But give us those screenshots. Tell us, I'm on a Mac. I'm using version 7.4.141. This is what's happening. Here's a screenshot of it. Give us that information so that we can help you. And that way, that will lower your level of frustration. Because if you wait till you're totally frustrated and nothing's working and you just come in there, is anybody having trouble with design space? That doesn't tell us anything, and we can't really help you well, because at that point we're like, okay, what version are you running? We spend 20-30 minutes trying to pull the information out of you that we need in order to help you. If you give us all that information up front, we can help you usually in just a couple of minutes. And I saw your question. You were having trouble with print and cut, cutting the wrong things, or it wasn't ready. I think that they addressed that and it should be fixed. Try to uninstall and reinstall it, because sometimes on an update, your system might hang or your internet might drop out and it may not fully install well. It might skip something in there causing some issue. So whenever that happens, uninstall it and do a fresh new copy install and see if it's still happening. Okay? And that will generally fix that unless there is an issue. And if there is an issue, we will come in, and because there was a couple of updates back, we were having some design space issues and they knew about them, and we said, yes, there are some print and cut issues. So, but they have addressed those as far as I know. I haven't been having any trouble, and I've been doing print and cut. I think Marianne had a problem the other day, but then she redid it and it worked fine. That's a good idea, Sue. Anytime that they say there's going to be an update and you get it and it shows that it's coming, you can let it install. But if you just want to uninstall and then reinstall, that can be a good idea. And that way you make sure that you're getting a good fresh copy. Because everybody's system is different. We all have different software. We have different operating systems. We have a different Wi-Fi or internet. We have different programs installed. We have different virus protections installed. And all of that plays a factor. Okay? Every bit of it. So, I mean, I don't believe there's any such thing as two identical exact computers. Because if the first time that you look up something or you install something on it, that makes your computer different from everybody else's. Okay, is anybody else having any issues with Design Space? Anything at all? Now, don't be alarmed if you don't have 7.4 what is that, 141? It's coming, and maintenance is coming tonight. Oh, yeah, flattened writing. We used to be able to flatten writing. We used to be able to do that. If you had a draw image, you could flatten it. We can't, and that it's been a while now, and I still forget and I still do it. And every time I do, I get that weird cut where it cuts a weird shape in there that is not in the wrong place. It just cuts everything all weird and wonky. Um, Make sure that you flatten you detach any drawing, you flatten your image, and then you attach that drawing back to it. Yeah, that's good, Ann. Just make sure it's meeting the requirements, and if it's fairly new and it meets the requirements, it probably is just was an internet glitch or something just didn't install well. Just uninstall it, reinstall, and I think you'll be fine. And make, like Marianne said, make sure that you're not attaching anything drawing. We used to be able to do it. We cannot do that anymore. And you're not the only one. I forget. I still forget, and I still do it. I still try to do it. Because sometimes I like that really skinny writing on the skinny writing font, and I like to flatten it so I don't have to do the pen part and just let it print on there. Can't do it. I know. I think so too, Marianne. I think it should give us an error message, but it doesn't. Hey, DIY. So just make sure that you're checking all of those things. And if you still can't get it to work, yes, she is. Marianne's our go-to for any issues that we have. We always run to her, and then if Marianne can't help us or we can't solve it on our own, then we go to support. Because sometimes when we tell you guys to go to support, we're telling you because we already know that's going to be the end result, because we have seen so much of it, and some things that we just know there's something that we can't do anything with, and we'll say you'll need to contact support. It's because we've already done it and we know that that's where it's going to end up. So there's no need in putting you through two or 3 hours of stuff that we know we can't do anything about. You cannot print and cut any drawing or writing in. It has to be attached. If you select, like right here, if I wanted to, for whatever, print and cut this, and I wanted it to have my name on there. Now, I'll show you a couple of ways. And I'm just going to duplicate that. So if I wanted it to have my name on there, for whatever reason, I could put my name on there, select whatever color I wanted that to be, select the two, and flatten. That is not a problem. That will print and cut that piece, that color, and with my name on it, and then it will just cut the shape. Okay, one layer, and it's good. However, if I try and I change this to let me just grab a Cricut font. There we go. If I try to change this to whatever font that I want, I don't know if that has a writing font on it, yeah, and change it to writing, and then I bring it over here and place it on this one, and I flatten that, it will flatten it as a print and cut. But when we go and we make it, what's going to happen is that print and cut, it's going to print those two. It's going to print those, but then it's going to cut all wonky. It's probably going to cut some weird shape or square or triangle, or cut another image that I have for print and cut up here at the top of it instead of actually cutting that shape. It doesn't like it. Doesn't like it at all. Hi, Swirly. So make sure that you are not doing that. You can, I'm going to cancel that. You can flatten it if it's still in its text form in normal. Let me unflatten that. Okay, it is unflattened. If I take it and I put it as regular text, I can then put that on there and I can flatten it. But if I change it to writing, I'm done. It's not going to cut well. That might be your problem. Yeah. Double check it and look in your layers panel. What's happening, DIY? What are you having an issue with in Designspace? Let's go ahead and troubleshoot some of your questions, and you can let us know. We just went over it, but I don't think you were here. Make sure that your design space is up to date. Make sure that your computer itself is up to date. Like if you're on a Mac or Windows, that you don't have any pending Windows updates or pending Mac updates. Check those. Check to make sure that you're running the current version of Designspace. Right now we're on 7.4.141, but you may still have 7.3, and that's okay. 7.3 will update. If you've got a 6-point-something version, it's probably not going to self-update because it's too old to read. The new update can't read that old version. So you'll have to completely uninstall and reinstall. Now, if you're on a mobile app, generally shutting down your, or checking to make sure that your app is up to date and doesn't need an update, and then powering down your device and powering it back on to help clear that cache will fix that one. So it just depends on your device. That's why I say we need all that. We need to know if you're iOS, if you're Android, if you're Windows, if you're Mac, if you're, all of that. But yeah, DIY, if you're having a major issue and that doesn't cover it, make sure that you come into the group and give us a screenshot of what's happening, and we can help you troubleshoot. Okay? We don't mind helping troubleshoot as long as we have the information and we know what we're looking for. We can go in and usually in a few minutes help you out on getting that fixed. But Designspace should be running smoothly. Sometimes I have a little glitch here or there while I'm live, but I have a ton of stuff running in the background, and it pulls my internet down sometimes. But when I'm not streaming live, I never really have any problems with Designspace unless it's something I have actually done. It's very rare that I have an issue. Like I'm slicing too much or welding too much and it wants to go all wonky, but usually there's workarounds to fix those. All right. If anybody has any questions that you forgot to ask, again, come over to the groups, shoot over there, ask us. We're happy to help. And we will see you, let's see, the next live is is tomorrow at 1. We're going to go in and look at the new features and create something. How do you clear cache? Are you on a Mac or Windows DIY? I'm going to put this in. I'm going to give you a link here, and it will take you to clearing cache and on how to clear your cache on Windows and on a Mac. So there's a link for that. That is an affiliate link. If you should go and shop after clicking my link, I could possibly earn a commission if it doesn't erase it between the shop and the help. Windows. Okay, clicking on, let's see if I can click on it and pull it up. Let's see if I can bring this over for you. See if you guys can see that. Here's the link, and it will walk you through right here if you're on Windows or on a Mac. Now, I don't know if they have changed this. I have the correct steps for doing this on a Mac in the pinned post, featured post in the group, because it's a little, I think this is the old way. I don't think they've updated this yet. But Windows is right here. And also, guys, if you're having trouble on Designspace and you're on Windows, what is it, Marianne? S mode? It doesn't like S mode. You may have to take it out of S mode. But they give you all the steps to clear your cache. Now, make sure that if you're on an app, before you uninstall your app and reinstall it, make sure you're saving to the cloud. If you're on the iOS app or Android app, make sure that you offload, okay? You want to offload instead of just deleting your app, because you can lose your projects if you're saving just to the device, okay? You don't want to do that. And it's right here. If you type in offload from that link I got you up here at the top, how to offload the app. I think you should always save to the cloud. You can save to the device and the cloud. That way you have an extra backup, but always, always, always save to the cloud. All right. So just some simple basic steps to go through if you're having any design space issues. But if you can't get it from these guys, please come to the group and ask us. We just ask that you provide us with the information, your system, what kind of device you're using, all that kind of stuff, and a screenshot if you can do it. I know on a Mac you hit Command-Shift-4 and it gives you this little arrow, and then you can snip it and it will do a screenshot and put it on your desktop. I don't know what the command is on Windows. I haven't had Windows since Windows 7. So I apologize. I don't know what that is. But I know that when I had Windows, we had a snipping tool. And that snipping tool would allow us to do that. And then you can post like these screenshots in there. A lot of people like to just take their phone and take a picture of the screen. And sometimes we can't see things and make them out. Especially if the image is rotated or it's really blurry. So screenshots are nice and clear and they help us. And if you're on a iOS, an iPad, I think it's your power button and the volume button does a screenshot. Same as on your iPhones, power button and volume button gives a screenshot. You still have the snipping tool, so great. Yeah, snipping tool is wonderful. Debbie, I think Marianne, aren't you running 11? I think Sue is too. I'm not sure. Shirley's. Swirly Shirley, she's on 11. She's not having any issues. How do you snip? Um, Let me show you right here on this. It's right here. This is what it looks like right here. This is your window snipping tool. And you just open the snipping tool and then Windows logo key, Shift S will open it. Oh, these are old. Here's Windows 10. Select Start, enter snipping tool, and then use that, and then press your Windows logo key, Shift and S at the same time. And then you drag it around, I think. Yay, DIY. Good, good, good. Go to your start and type in snipping tool. So super easy to take screenshots, and they're nice and clear, and it helps us so that we can help you. Right there, what Marianne just said. I don't have a screen to look at for you. Okay, yeah, she got it. It's a great tool. Great little tool. All right, guys. If nobody has any other questions, then we will see you at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to go through and look at the new featured images, and then we will design something using one of those images. Or 2 or 3. We never know. We just design. We don't create anything. We just design tomorrow. That way you can learn some more about how to design in DesignSpace. Thank you, moderators. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you to all of my supporters on the Ko-fi, Patreon, and the YouTube channel memberships. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will catch you tomorrow. Happy crafting!